I suppose we can get started. So before we wanted to get into like the West 66 stuff, I just wanted to talk like about you because I always kind of like, I talk to my friends. I'm like, yeah, I work with Isaac. He's awesome. I love him. He's the greatest. Just the usual stuff. Yeah, just like, who are you? Like the kind of what got you, into music in the first
Yeah,
place, kind of what their musical artists and experience you had, those sort of things.
that that's a really good question. I mean, the start, I have like a really clear start, and that's like I remember when I was really small. I've heard from my parents and from my grandparents that I always said I like music with stomp in it.
Hmm.
So I started out really early, like enjoying music for real, and then I started with like banging on pots and pans when I was small. Started playing drums, and then I've been playing in like 12 different bands or something like that. So I've been playing in bands since I was like 12, playing drums, and then started playing guitar and singing. And then I started trying to produce my own music, I think 2017. And that's been a long journey since then. I started playing with Tribe Friday, the band I currently play with. Done a lot of things with Tribe. We've been around, been to New York
Hmm.
three times even now. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing lots since then. It's just I feel like it's just a constant journey, honestly, music, right? You start somewhere, then you just learn more and more as you go along.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, did you start producing with Tribe Friday? You did like more stuff before that as well?
No, I did a lot of stuff before that. This is right now. I right before this, I was mixing my own stuff because I'm doing like a new solo project now,
Fine,
and that's
whatever. Yeah.
like my fourth solo project I'm doing. So I've been doing like lots of stuff, different things. You want to try out and see what you like.
Right.
Try the different vibes out and see what works.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And-
no, so I started a bit earlier. I got like a stipend from somewhere. Thanks for that. So I bought a MacBook, like those Mac Cube thingies,
mm,
and a Logic. And I bought Logic, and
mhm.
that's how I started back in 2016, 17.
Yeah.
That's the way it went. Here we
Yeah.
are,
And
getting to
here we
have
are.
different cool people make music.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, kind of music is like kind of it's like a therapy almost. It's kind of
Mm.
just like it allows me to kind of just like lose myself in something. Like is it similar for that for producing? Because I obviously it's a different side. Like for me,
Yeah.
I put things in Logic and it's not completely fleshed out, but it kind of it
Mm.
allows stuff to get out. Is
Yeah.
it similar to that for you?
I feel like it's like you have different hats. So I feel like that's one hat, like like the creating hat. That's like you're focused on what, like you say, it's like therapy in a way. You're focused on what you're feeling and why you're feeling it and trying to process stuff. But then I feel like with the producing hat, I kind of end up somewhere else. Like it's not created in the same way. It's created, but it's more like an engineer can be creative. That makes sense. Like
Hmm.
you're looking at like the overarching structure and where to go from here to make stuff make more or less sense. So it's creating, but it also has more limits, which
Hmm.
makes it feel, I guess, safer in a way. Like it's
Hmm.
easier to see where you're going with it. That's like, oh my God, should I do this? Should I try this? You kind of know somehow, like, okay, I could do this or I could go here. And then you try both of them and go like, okay, that was the one. Let's go with that one. I
Right.
feel like it's definitely different, but it's fun. It's really fun,
Yeah.
especially to work with like your stuff and other people's stuff because um, I because then I can take off like the creation hat entirely, right? Because I haven't had it on at all, so I can just start from that point and actually do that entirely, and that feels different in a
Right.
way. Like it's really cool and really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's super cool. So essentially for those of us watching, it's like what me and Isaac do is essentially I'll get a song idea, I'll write the lyrics, I'll write the music, and then basically I'll go plug in my piano to Logic Pro, which is basically it's GarageBand, but there's more little knickknacks to it.
Fancy
Uh,
garage.
yeah. And I kind of go in and I just kind of do a rough kind of demonstration of kind of the idea of what I want the song to sound like. So I'll go in, I usually start on piano and then I go add the vocals, I add the drums, I add the guitar, bass, any synthesizers that I might have ideas for. And it's kind of obviously I only started doing this really exclusively like about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't have the seasoned experience that Isaac had.
It is
But
time. It is time.
in time, you learn more and more. I like go and I just figure out how to do new stuff every time I'm in there in Logic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the yeah. So I'll go in there and I'll just kind of lay down a rough idea of it. And then I got connected to Isaac through Tribe Friday. And then we kind of linked up and we worked on a bunch of songs together.
yeah,
And so basically I just send him the Logic project that I have with kind of the rough ideas of sorts that I have. And he kind of takes that and he kind of fleshes it out, adds ideas, kind of makes it a more rounded out sound, right?
yeah.
So I think for you, like you were talking about kind of the creative hats and how that's different from songwriting itself. Do you think that gives you like it allows you to kind of do more than you would if it was your own thing? Is because you're looking at it from the outside instead of looking in at it?
Yeah, that's definitely a way to put it because I kind of see. But I mean, like I love music, and I'm not like because some people love like I like rock or I like blues or whatever. But I listen to a lot of different types of music, so I can kind of see like where you're going, and then see what I could do to get more like there. With as you say, with like the production and stuff.
Mhm.
And when I do my own stuff, I as you say, like I'm limited in the sense that I kind of knew what I wanted when I was like writing it.
Mhm.
And not having that is definitely a benefit for sure, because then I can like, as you say, like view it more objectively and be like, oh yeah, I love this, I love that. Because when you write something, it's easy to like get stuck on like, I love this thing, and then maybe that's not the thing that's
Mhm.
most important in the song, but for you in that moment, that's the thing. But I
Mhm.
get to go in and like look at it at that stage where you sent it to me instead of like seeing the whole process to get there, and that's
Right.
really useful. Because I know, like sometimes I think we have had some instances where I cut parts or be like, oh, we don't need this part to be
Mhm.
this long or whatever, and that's really hard to do oneself. Because I mean, like you took time to write that, so it's really hard to be like, do we really need those bars? And I can be like, what if I try to remove those bars? And
Right.
then you can go in and say like, yes or no.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, it's different and it's very fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Collaborations like this just as such it allows for a
Yeah,
lot more depth and we're just like there's a lot more there's like even if it's like the smallest things it has the biggest difference
mm-hmm.
on a song and it's like there's just some little things whether it's a synth or a bass or something else that's just different it brings out a different complexity. I just wanted
Oh,
to
for
say
sure.
hi to everybody in the chat right now. I see you guys. I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm going to make it. Thank you so much. I try. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are you guys what keep my dreams alive. Yeah, this song is it's been with me for a while. I wrote it last summer and then started working on it with Isaac November,
Yeah,
December-ish.
something like that.
Ended
Yeah.
up doing it with a choir. I did it in an award ceremony, and it was so much fun, and there's great reception for it. So if you're here, thank you so much. Share the song. I would really appreciate it. And I'll remember you if I do make it big. And yeah, and the reason I wanted to have this live is because Isaac is such a big part of it. I think that he really does kind of make my ideas more cohesive because me plugging out things on a MIDI keyboard is not that real life guitar that he puts in there. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah. No, it's but that's I'm so happy that I started the way I did because I feel like I started as a drummer, right?
Hmm.
And I've been talking with a lot of people about that, but I feel like starting as a drummer is one of the best ways to go about it because as soon as you want to do something else than playing drums, you have to learn different
Right.
instruments. But if you start with like piano or guitar, you can kind of go a very long time without actually needing a second instrument. But I feel like because I started with drums, forced I was forced to learn guitar because there's no way for me to make chords on the
Right.
drums. There's not gonna happen. And that's been really nice because that means like I can now when you send me songs, I know how to play like enough bass and guitar and stuff. And I also know how a drummer can and cannot play. Even though like we have a great drummer recording everything, so I don't really have to think that much about it.
Right.
Like that's being fixed. And anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah, starting the piano is super good because you kind of just get ideas. Anything you can get ideas down with, anything
Yeah.
where you can just kind of start from where you are and go from there. It's always really helpful. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like in Sweden, I've like when I studied, we were talking a lot about like music, right? And it's interesting because I mean, production is definitely part of like the art, but I mean the basic part of any song is chords and melody and like lyrics. That's like the three parts of any song, and then the other things maybe are what makes people connect in a different sense. But if you remove those three parts, there's nothing. I mean, starting on like you say, like on a piano or guitar, when you can play chords, makes really a difference for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Like it's a good way.
Yeah, it's just the kind of just like anything, just any like knowing even the basic things. It allows the ideas to kind of look better in your head than just if you're just singing a melody, right? Like than
Yeah.
just in a voice memo. Yeah. So I wanted if anybody in the chat has any questions, or if Isaac, if you have any questions, I don't know. I just wanted to have kind of have like an open dialogue for a few more minutes.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I think I have a nerdy question to start with before the chat goes wild. What kind of MIDI keyboard do you use? Do you have weighted like? Do you have like one of these really plastic ones? What
I
kind of
just
thing do you have?
like I honestly I usually I just have 88 keys. I have one that's right behind me right here.
Oh, nice.
And then I have another one upstate, and I just usually plug those in because I just kind of usually go and just flesh out ideas right away. Usually when I have a melody or anything, and then go to Logic
Good
when I
way.
get the chance. Yeah, yeah, that's
Perfect.
usually my mode. Yeah, I have
Then
a
we have a
question. How are you
yeah,
so
we have a
talented?
question.
It's years and years of just kind of just practice and practice and practice. I remember I wrote my first song when I was like 10 or 11. It was called Time Moves On. It was a really deep song. Yeah, it was like the chorus goes, "Time moves on. No, you can't control it. Time moves on." You know, it was a fun little song. I think it's a lot of experience. Experience is really what you need in order to kind of continue forward. I think my songwriting's really developed just because I've written over my life, I've probably written like 20, 30 songs or so. And I think it's just like as you experience new things, as you experience new
Yeah.
emotions, I think it kind of comes out in a different way. And I think it kind of as I even mature just as a person, it kind of that naturally comes to the territory. Just knowing more vocabulary allows the lyrics to be
Oh yeah.
better. Yeah.
No, that's for sure. That's really interesting. Because that's really as a thing is because I can relate to that as well. Like being Swedish, because I mean I do speak English fluently. Like I can speak English with that's no worries. I can speak a bit of French. I can speak a bit of Esperanto, but I speak Swedish as my mother tongue, right? So I can notice that I write differently in Swedish and in English. Because in English I am more limited sometimes.
Isaac, what's your inspiration for stuff? Is it similar? Is it just like what is usually drives you?
That's a good question. I feel like I have different ways to start uh, songs. Either I usually never start with like writing like lyrics. It's
Hmm.
more like because I that makes sense. Like I work with producing your songs, right? So I usually start actually with producing stuff.
Hmm.
Like I put something down, like okay, I like this vibe, and then I usually try to ramble text until I find something that is interesting and that makes me feel something, and then I go from there. I mean, like sometimes I have started with text, but most of the time it's like the reverse. I start with getting some kind of production down, and I feel like that has benefits and sometimes limits. Like it changes how the text relates to the music.
Right.
So
Yeah.
drawbacks and benefits always.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, like it's just kind of like it's the same idea, but in reverse
Yeah.
ways. Like for me, it's like the lyrics are like, okay, this is the vibe for the song that I'm going for. This is the music that should go with it. And for you, it's the other way where it's
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah.
the
Exactly.
instrument kind of sounds kind of moody. What am I going to put for lyrics for this?
Yeah.
I think that's that thing that's a reason why it works so well when
Yeah.
we collaborate. I think you kind of
Exactly.
we
Right.
hear different things, which allows it to kind of do that. Yeah, feel free if you have any questions to put in the chat for any of us here. Yeah. So for those of us who just joined, this is Isak Gunnarsson. He is my producer. He produced West 66. He produced the rest of the songs that are coming off my upcoming EP, Midnight Walks. He produced Broken Glass and Summer Camp as well. So that was he's my guy. He's my go-to. Yeah, he's talented and he's funny and he's personable and he has a great Swedish accent. So it's always fun when I get his voice messages and he's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Oh, the world is big."
Yeah, I have that thing, right? Usually I can text, but sometimes it's just easy to do voice messages. Like when you're gonna like spit out
Right, exactly.
information, it's just faster. Usually makes a
Yes,
lot more sense.
typing a whole paragraph, it's so much.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, I can't. I mean, like a lot of people here might be a bit ADHD in the music community. I am potentially one of them. Who knows? But I usually, if I write stuff, I forget to type words because my brain are already at the next sentence. It's
Yeah.
just easier for everyone when I talk if I'm gonna write long stuff because it's just gonna be like incomprehensible,
Yeah.
no use.
Yeah, no, but it's like it's easier. It's like I personally just like I type really fast because I usually am on my computer. I don't have a phone, so I'm usually just typing away. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hello, friends. Hi, Cooper. Um, yeah, and any questions before we go? I think we're getting nearer to the end. I know Isaac has plans after this, so I don't want to take away too much of his time. But if
Yeah,
we
it
if
was a
we
very nice request. I was happy you asked if I could join. It was nice to get to talk about it. I mean, like we haven't had time to talk about it that much.
yeah
Almost. It's like it's nice in that sense as well.
yeah yeah
Definitely.
just
Yeah,
fun
but you should
conversation.
definitely save it because so someone said that you should have made it like a podcast. I feel like that's a
Yeah
perfect like way to
yeah
get to the
yeah.
middle.
I'm definitely gonna save this and cut the pre Wi-Fi break and post Wi-Fi break and put them together and
Perfect.
and make that a post because I definitely want
Yeah.
to share this conversation. I think it's just cool to kind of just like have a down to
Yeah.
earth kind of
It's,
for it. Yeah.
no, because it's like most. I mean, like if you don't do this, then it's it's like like a way to get to see how it like works and stuff like that. It's like otherwise you just see the song
Yeah.
and you don't know what goes into the song or what's hard or what's easy and stuff. So definitely,
Right.
it's a good thing to do.
Yeah. I think kind of the you don't want to become like too digitized if you're an artist, right? You kind of want to feel like you're relatable and connected
Yeah,
to, and like I really like just kind of having real life conversations. It's
yeah,
just like it's just nice to kind of get a sense of who that is. I know anytime any of the artists I like go on a live stream, like even though it's like they're not gonna respond to my comment, I'm still feeling like I'm with them and I'm like relating
mm,
to them, and it's just like it's really cool. So I wanted to give that experience too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nice thing to do for sure.
yeah. Well, I know it's like it's what is it? It's 5:26 your time right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
late in the day.
Yeah,
Wes can take you off six
we're
hours
gonna go
earlier.
watch the movie. Have you seen the new Borderlands movie?
Sorry,
Borderlands, like the video game.
if
They
not.
they they, they made a Borderlands movie, so we're gonna go see that.
Oh, that's fun.
It might be awesome or it might be incredibly awful. Like video game movies are hit or miss.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Really
definitely
hit or
hit or miss. Yeah.
So always, I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, do we have any final questions? I'll give it another 15 to 20 seconds. But if not, you guys can always, if you're watching and you think of a question later, I'm like always on Instagram. If you guys want to DM me, if you want to DM Isaac with any questions, I know he'd respond.
Yeah,
Um,
I love answering stuff, of course.
yeah. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. And if you just joined now, if you joined recently, I said this before, but I'll post tapes of this at some later point. And also one more thing what's your favorite Logan Tribe Friday song? That's a, that's for me. I mean,
Yes, yeah, go for it.
my favorite Tribe Friday song is "Shut Me Up." I love that song.
Yeah, yeah.
That one ends I'll be going home soon anyway. Chasing Pictures. No, that's an album name. Talk So Loud.
Yeah,
Talk So
yeah,
Loud.
talk to me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I
good.
love that one too.
Yeah, it's great. It has like this extra. What is it? Is it melodic minor? I think it even turns into there for a second. It's like the extra note in
Oh,
the guitar.
yeah, yeah,
It's you prefer to call it that, but it could also be seen as a note, not part of the scale. It all depends on your viewpoint. But yeah, it's a banger. What's your favorite Logan song? You have 2 questions here. Your favorite song you released so far?
My favorite Logan song. My favorite Logan song is one I wrote like 3 weeks ago. But I mean that's par for the course with artists. It's like they always tend to like their later stuff more. I mean, I can't speak for everyone. But I heard something that like Rush's singer Geddy Lee thought there was like the recent stuff was the best part. But yeah, I really out of released songs, I'm really proud of West 66, and I think I didn't expect it to like I think as time went on, I kind of rose into appreciation for it more, and I really like that song. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it turned out great. I agree. It's a really good song. I also think like of the earlier stuff, Summer Camp also I feel like turned out really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like that turned out really, really good. It's a great track.
Yeah, I found out that Summer Camp, a choir is doing it in I forget which state, Wisconsin maybe. But they messaged me and they were like, we're gonna do it, and so I'm super excited to get a video of that.
Hey,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, send it to me as well. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So your favorite Logan Tribe song? You like Summer Camp? You said.
I mean, I almost like West 66 is also yes. I feel like I had to say like something that wasn't released today as well. It's to balance the scale, but West 66 for sure. And then Tribe song, that's like, oof. As you say, like that's a really hard question. Let's see here. I would potentially. Where am I leaning right now? I would maybe go with from the latest record, obviously, as we just talked about. Then just confirming this by now. I would go with like Swimsuit's a real banger. So like love how Swimsuit turned out. Like has this is really emo in a nice way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like that has to be my 2 answers for now. We'll probably change in an hour, but for now.
Yeah. Any plans for upcoming music projects? So this obviously West 66 is the first song off a 4-song EP. So I have 3 more songs that I'm going to be releasing that I worked on with Isak, and that are just we're gonna set release dates for them, and so we'll keep you guys updated on that. But for now, listen to West 66.
It's a good start.
I really appreciate all the love it's been getting, and I appreciate all you guys sharing it and sending it to people, and I'm really happy with the response it's getting right now. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Isak. You have been working quite hard, and you are so fun to work with. So I'm really glad that we connected.
Me too, man.
Yeah. So I think that just about does it for us here.
So yeah. Good job.
Yeah. It's been good. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Took a midnight walks, totally fine. We'd have hours of talk. Treasure we would never find. You in your Birkenstocks, soaked by the grass and the rain. And those were